Oh my goodness, it is cold here in Illinois. Not used to this cold weather, but it is nice. I've got this beautiful, what seems to be frozen lake behind me, and I am just so happy to be here, but I am also freezing. So let's get right into it, shall we? I've mentioned before that every week that I make a video, the following week I feel like I always get a deeper lesson on what it was I made the prior week. And this week, for sure, the things that I talked about last week have been huge for me this week and the last few days especially. I don't know about you, but this new moon energy is is intense, and it has definitely been bringing up a lot for me the past few days. I watched a video about attracting masculine men versus attracting wounded masculine men, and I'm gonna link it in down here because it was amazing. I'm so thankful for Alexis for the videos that she makes, and I want to push women to watch her videos because she is just so good. She's so wonderful. And the thing that there were so many things that I learned from watching this video. By the end of it, I felt so brokenhearted thinking about all the times that I've given my energy to men, where they've just taken from my energy, just harvested from my energy, and realized that I have never attracted a man into my life who has not harvested from my energy, has not taken from my energy. And she talks a lot about how, in this video, she talks about how men the difference between what it's like to attract and be around men who want to pour into you and give to you rather than just take from you, and how as women, our feminine energy, we give life, and how we don't do 50-50. There is no 50-50 when it comes to feminine energy. And, it's not supposed to look like that. And one of the things she says in the video is, I'm so tired of this, well, what do you bring to the table rhetoric that seems to be going around and coming out of men's mouths more and more. And she says, I bring favor. That's what I bring. I bring favor, because when a man has a good woman in his life, he ends up looking better, making more money, doing better in life, right? Because he's harvesting, he's pulling from the feminine in his life's energy. And too many men are wounded and don't know how to hold space. They don't know how to be a container for a female in their life. And so what ends up happening is they end up just taking from her, and she ends up being drained and drained and drained, whereas they are harvesting all this energy and having all this energy. And how even having an interaction with a man, she tells a story about being in an Uber and having a conversation with this man for about an hour, and by the end of it, he was like, oh, wow, I feel great. I feel like I could run a mile. But she was feeling depleted. But if he had given her that ride for free, that exchange would have made sense. There was a short time in my life recently where I was having an even exchange with a man who, and the people in my life were very much like, well, like, wait, he's doing all this for you. What are you doing for him? And I was like, I'm being in his life. He gets to be seen out with me. He gets to take from my energy. He is healing just by being in my presence. And then what ended up happening is I didn't hold my boundaries firm enough with this man. And in the end, he ended up harvesting my energy until I was starting to be depleted, and it ended. I put an end to it. And what I learned from that experience, and what I am continuing to realize that I want for myself, is that I don't want to be intimate with a man unless I'm married to him. I'm done with that. There's also a video on my channel where I talk about how there's only been one man in my life who I did not regret being intimate with. And after I watched this video, I ended up feeling like, wow, I regret that one too, actually. Because even though I loved that person very much, and still do, and forgive him, in the end, he took from my energy without giving back to me. And it made me feel horrible when I realized that. And I'm just going to be completely vulnerable and open and honest and tell you that, my viewers, my audience, that I have spent a lot of time crying over that person. And by the end of that video, and this is another reason why I'm going to link it and tell all you women here who are watching me to watch this video, I will never cry over him again. I deleted his contact out of my phone after I watched that video. And last week, I realized that in a way, I was still giving him my energy that he didn't deserve by crying over him and thinking about him. That's still been, in a way, feeding him. And I don't want to give to someone who's not giving back to me. That's crazy. That doesn't make any sense. And so I have decided enough is enough. I am moving on from that version of myself who leaked energy and gave energy to men. This is why I'm careful to look men in the eyes. This is why I don't interact. This is why I don't hang out with men anymore. I don't do that. I don't hang out with guys one-on-one. That's something I don't do anymore. Interestingly enough, after I got really firm after watching this video, really firm in my decision to, I am not being intimate with a man until I am married to him, and I am not giving my energy anymore to people who don't deserve it, to people who aren't showing up for me, to people who aren't giving back to me, who aren't pouring into me to be able to keep pouring into them. I'm not doing it anymore. Interestingly enough, after I made that firm decision, a high quality masculine man ended up in my DMs. That's never happened to me before. I'm used to typically attracting losers who just want to win. I won't call them losers. Not losers, but just wounded masculine energy, wounded men who could see that. And, I also want to say this. The first time I ever even heard of this concept of men taking from a woman's energy, I didn't even know, because we don't know this. We don't understand these things. And I think I want to talk more about this, and I want to learn more about this, about feminine energy and the power that it holds. We don't realize that men need us to be healed, to be okay, to be nurtured, to thrive. And the first time I ever even heard of this concept was this man that I was just talking about a minute ago, that he was the one that I didn't regret. And he said, that he was tired of men taking from my energy. But yet he was doing it too. And how interesting is it? I always say this to people. People will always tell you the truth about what they're doing just in a different way. So like him saying that was something he was doing. He was telling me what he was doing without me realizing that he was telling me he was doing that. So many times in life, people do this. They project what they're really feeling towards themselves. You know, this person made me feel like I wasn't enough. Like I wasn't good enough. Like I wasn't woman, goddess enough, queen enough for him. And now I'm come to realize that was a projection. That was really him telling me that he wasn't good enough for me. He wasn't good enough for the queen that I am. He wasn't ready to be what I needed him to be. And finally, I'm at this place where I'm like, okay, you know, I get it. Then that's fine. And again, like all the love, forgiveness, but no more. And I'm only now, because I have come to this place, it's like I mentioned having like a high quality man in my DMs. And then also another guy asking me out on a date, knowing my boundaries and being like, okay, yeah, that's cool. That's totally fine. With, you know, he asked me out, and somebody that from my past a couple years ago, popped in my DMs also, and I was just like, look, I'm not that person anymore. You know, I don't hang out with guys. Like, I know we hung out. I don't do that anymore. Like, these are my boundaries. And he was like, okay. And he was like, that's totally cool. And like, I think men respect to that when you're like, these are my boundaries and this is what I'm sticking to. Anyway, I think I kind of got off on a tangent. You have to forgive me. It's cold out here. The point is, if a man is not respecting your boundaries, if he's getting too physical with you too fast, that's him taking from your energy. And you don't want to do that, because then you're left with nothing. And I also mentioned in that video where I talk about love and intimacy, about how I love Bridgerton, and how one of the things I love is how like a woman like prepares to be a wife. And I said that was my favorite thing, and really it's not. That's not my favorite thing. My favorite thing is that the men in Bridgerton protect women's innocence. They don't, and that's why I was so upset when Penelope and I forget his name, but they get intimate before they get married. It's like, he didn't protect her. And like, yes, he still married her like that. And I guess he knew he was going to marry her. Okay. Like, they knew that they were in it. They had been friends for years, whatever. Besides the point. The point is, in Bridgerton, it's like, women are so protected. Men don't get to take them and be alone with them. Their innocence is protected. And we're just like raised in this society, in this culture, right? Of like, oh, you gotta know if you're compatible. So you gotta be intimate first before you can know whether or not you're compatible. No. And women, so much of the time, we end up just being depleted and drained. And while like these men thrive, that they are not giving anything to us. They're moving up in their careers. They're looking better, feeling better. They're aging well, while we're over here like getting the life sucked out of us, because they don't know how to hold space for us emotionally, because they're wounded. They don't know how to be a container for us, for our emotions. They don't know how to stand firm in their masculine energy. They are wounded masculine. And so what ends up happening is they drain from us. They take from us, they harvest our energy, and we're left with nothing. And we just get depleted and depleted and depleted and depleted until we can't take it anymore. And then usually a relationship ends, because let's face it, 9 times out of 10, men aren't willing to do the work. The only way that they're willing to do the work is if you take away the thing that they want, which is you. So, women, I implore you, let's have enough is enough. Like, stop laying down with these men who are not giving back to you, who are not showing up at your door with roses and jewelry and providing for you and taking care of you and being the emotional provider, the financial provider. We've gotten these things so miscued. Now it's so 50-50. A woman has to provide 50% and do everything else that she does. No more of that. Feminine energy is connected to God's source, the void, because we create life. Men don't have that the way that we do. We are amazing and incredible just as we are. We are life-giving, nurturer, energy bearers in a way that men can never be. And that in and of itself is enough. It says in the Bible, a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. You are a good thing, sweetheart. Period. Point blank, period. You are a good thing just because of the way that you are connected to the divine. Don't sell yourself short. Remember your worth. Get firm in your boundaries. Decide to stop giving your energy to men. Be more careful about the way that you dress when you go out, who you're interacting with, who you're looking at. Don't let men siphon off your energy. Build up your energy so that you can do everything that you want in life, so that you can make the money that you want, so that you can have the career that you want, so that you can look good the way that you want. And only give a man your energy if he's making an honest woman out of you, and if he is showing up for you, and if he is giving to you in a physical sense, if he is giving you things to multiply, like gifts, taking you on dates, paying to get your nails done, paying to have you get facials, those kind of things. A man does those things and should do those things for a woman so that she can stay in her soft energy and keep giving him life and keep giving everybody life. That's what we do. That's why men need to protect us and protect our energy. Anyway, this got long. I am surprised, but I guess a lot wanted to come out because as much as I felt like crap after realizing what I had done for so long in my life because I didn't know any better, finally today I have shifted the energy and I don't feel so crappy, and I just feel like, okay, I get it now. I see the bigger picture. I really do understand my worth even more I understand my worth, and I'm just ready to know who I am and only attract men into my life who are going to give to me, not take from me. And I want you to do the same, whoever's watching this, because you're worth it. Okay? All right? That's it? Oh, music. I'm so cold. Right. I promised I was going to sing Always, Always or do something musical. You are beautiful in every single way. Words can't get me down. I don't know. This is what's coming. You are beautiful no matter what they say. Yes, words can't bring you down. No. So don't you bring me down today. You're beautiful. You're beautiful, sweetheart. You are beautiful. Remember your worth. Remember your power. Remember who you are. All my grace. All my love. I'll see you guys next week.